Hello and welcome back to another week of Sambo iRacing. We're back in the Ford Mustang GT4, this time at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve for yet another track guide. Now, if you're going to run this in the GT4 Open Falcon series and you want to race the exact setup being used by Gianni in this track guide, you can go to our website, sambosetups.com, or you can go to our Patreon page. There are links to both in the description. There's also a link to Gianni's coaching website, lutzudriverperformance.com. All I can do is tell you how good that guy is. 10.5k, real-life racing driver, full-time driver coach. But the main thing is he's a top bloke as well. Check him out if you need any improvement in your... Alright, so looking for our entry into turn 1, which is just before the 2 marker. On the brakes, up to about 75%, down to second, little blip of gas, back on the brakes, and now picking it back up in first gear. Going to head over to the left-hand side. And we're going to look for this 2 marker. We're going to brake just after it, and again, up to about 70%. Wipe that speed off, down to second, get the nose turned in, cut the corner, a little lift on exit, don't hit the wall. Going to head over to the left-hand side to give ourselves some room. Round 5, where we just do a lift. Now get back on the gas at the orange thing on the left on the brakes, which is about 70%. And again, down to second. But we're going to have to lift to go around the right-hander here afterwards. And we don't reach 100% almost until we're at the exit. Now we've got this little back straight as we come up to the turn 8 chicane. And we're going to start braking about the 3 marker, and again holding it for quite a while, down to second gear, lifting, cutting the corners, don't hit the wall once more. Should really just generally expect not to try and hit any walls. Into the hairpin on the brakes just after the 3 marker, and again wipe all that speed off. You're on there for quite a long time, down to first gear, back on the gas. And now we've got the very long main straight to come. And we're going to start braking for the final chicane just as we get to under this Dodge bridge. And again, we're going to be on the brakes for quite a long time, around 80%, wipe that speed off, down to second. Taking a bit of curve on entry and exit, don't hit the wall of champions, and over and across the line we go in a 1:40.9. Breakdown lap coming up next. Right, breakdown lap. So our first braking marker is more or less going to be this 3 marker coming up. But as we come up to the little sort of entrance road that's blocked off just before it, Johnny's already started doing a lift. So he's already come off the gas and he sort of trailed that off. And then he gets on the brakes between the 3 and the 2. And again, he gets to about 75%, wipes that off, down to second gear, starts picking back up on the gas at the apex, doesn't reach 100%, literally only up to about 40%, straightens the wheel, and then gets back on the brakes up to about 45% again. Longish trail off though there, and then starts picking back up on the apex in first gear. Hugging it as close over to the right side as you can go on exit there. Right, we're going to start braking just after the 2 marker for the second chicane, I don't know, for turn 3. And again, on the brakes, roughly up to about 70%, down to second gear, and we really want to cut this corner, keeping our left-hand tyres just on the track. He doesn't reach 100% before he does a lift for the second set of curves. And now we get up to 100% on exit. So now, for the lift as we go through turn 5, we're going to be all the way over on the left-hand side, as you can see. We're going to start our turn in, but we do a lift almost down to about 35% before picking back up on the gas. Now we're looking for this orange sort of marking on the Armco on the left-hand side. That's going to be our braking marker as we come into turn 6. And again, on the brakes up to about 70%, wipes off the speed, back on the gas in second gear, but as you can see, he doesn't make it up to 100%. Then he does a lift. And this is where he's up to 100% now. If you are braking harder than this, you will be entering the ABS, no doubt, and it will probably be punishing your times. Right, as we come into turn 8, we're going to start braking between the 3 marker you can just see on the left here and the 2. Gets up to about 80% again, wipes that speed off, down to second gear, and again, cutting this corner, sorts of slides it in, it starts picking back up on the gas, but he wants his right-hand tyres on the white sausage curbs, and he does the same on the exit. You will be losing a ton of time there if you're not making full use of that. And we're going to start braking at around the 3 marker here as we come into the hairpin. So we go through the 3, and you can see he's already started on the brakes. And again, holds that around 75% all the way until here. And now he's going to start trailing it off. and doesn't start picking back up on the gas until he's pointing to the right of that Parc Jaune Drapeau sign up in the distance. And he doesn't reach 100% until he's fully unwound that wheel. You can just get a ton of wheel spin, depending on the car you're in, or traction control kicking off there. Right, we're going to move over to the left-hand side. We have one final set of corners coming, and we're going to brake at this Dodge bridge. So we're in 5th gear. We're going to go through it, and then we get up to sort of 82%. Wipe that speed off down to 2nd gear, and now he starts picking back up ahead of the first set of curbs. He's now at 2/3 pressure between the two of them. He holds it at around 75% as he goes through the 2nd set of curbs. And yeah, it's just important not to hit that wall on exit. And there we have it. That is the breakdown lap of the Ford Mustang GT4 at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal. We've got one final version coming up next with the driving line on without me talking, so that'll be nice.